Welcome to another episode of Blocks and Barriers with me, Tracy, the health coach. Today, I have another special guest and I'm so excited for this conversation because we'll be talking about fibroids. So today I have Emma Thomas, who is an accredited women's health and workplace well-being coach. She helps organizations better support women navigating perimenopause and fibroids in reducing absence and retaining experienced female talent. She runs Perisize, a workplace-friendly exercise class designed specifically for women experiencing the natural changes of perimenopause. With lived experience of fibroids herself, Emma is bringing first-hand insight into the overlapping symptoms women face with fibroids and perimenopause while still being expected to perform at work and meet the demands of work and life. So the reason why I chose fibroids is because fibroids is something that disproportionately affects Black women, and too often their pain and their symptoms are dismissed or not fully heard. And at the same time, many women are also unaware of just how powerful lifestyle changes can be in improving their day-to-day quality of life when they have fibroids. So this is what we're going to be talking about. So welcome, Emma.
Thank you for such a lovely introduction, Tracy. Yes, I'm looking forward to today's chat.
You are so welcome. So we like to begin with a little icebreaker. Mm-hmm. So if you're to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner with someone, could be anyone, whether in the health space, whether dead or alive, anyone in your friend circle, anyone, celebrity, who would you have for breakfast? Who would you have for lunch? And who would you have for dinner? And why?
Oh, that's a question I've not been asked before. That's a good one. Okay, I'm going to base this on recent experience. So I was watching randomly whilst I was sort of doing some work in the background. I was watching, I don't know if I should admit this, one of my favorite movies of all time, Sister Act, yesterday. Yeah. I just love it. So I just love Whoopi Goldberg in that movie. So specifically, not Whoopi Goldberg as we know her, but Sister Mary Clarence.
Yes.
I think I'd like to sit and have breakfast with her. Why not? She would just brighten up the breakfast and she'd, bring songs and just stories. So I guess, I could meet with her for breakfast.
Yeah.
Lunch. Let's have a think. Who would I like to have lunch with? Let's see. I'm going to say you, Tracy. Why not?
Oh, amazing.
Yes, I've not met you in person before, but I've been seeing your profile online and I'm always very sort of impressed by the work you're doing. So it's always good for fellow sort of health coaches in the same sort of industry to meet and chat. So let's actually do that in real life. Let's do
it. No one has ever said that. Oh, amazing. I would love to, for sure. Oh,
that would be great. Yes. So lunch with you. And finishing off, who should I finish off with? I'm going to say an icon of mine growing up. I was born in the 80s, so sort of grew up in the 90s. Yeah. And I loved the Spice Girls. I absolutely adored them. And Mel B was my favorite. Yeah. So I think I'd love to go for dinner with her. We'd have a great, loud, chatty dinner. Sure. And then I'm sure there'll be shenanigans going into the night. But yes. I love amazing.
Yeah, and of course the 80s are the best period to be born.
Oh
yes, so excellent, amazing. So now when it comes to fibroids,
yes,
you've lived with fibroids, you have experience of fibroids. So maybe take us back to the first point when you realized something is not right.
Yeah, so I guess getting detailed, I'd always struggled with quite painful sort of monthly cycles. But, the general consensus was as women, it's it's just a period. It's meant to hurt. You know, my mum, I asked my mum, she suffered with them as well, and my grandmother. So I thought it's just one of those things. So I just kind of suffered month to month and just sort of got on with life, really. But it was back in 2020. No, it wasn't, sorry. It was about 2018. I just knew something wasn't right, sort of in my abdomen area, just something felt off. So I went to the doctor just to sort of describe what I was feeling, and the doctor just sort of prodded me about a little bit and then pretty much sent me on my way, said, yeah, there's nothing wrong really. So I believed the doctor. I thought they know what they're talking about, and I just sort of felt a bit bad that I'd wasted their time, you know, so I just kind of carried on with life. And then it was about 2 years later, I was just went to get a routine check for something else, and the surgeon, when he came back to sort of reveal the results, he just said, Emma, do you know you've got quite a large fibroid? And I was just like, what's a fibroid? Like, I think I'd heard of the term, but I wasn't really aware of what it was. And then he showed me the scan, and it was just this huge thing that was just in me. I was just like, what is this? Get this out of me immediately. And that's when I found out it was quite huge. It was sort of melon sized. Wow. It was about 16 centimeters. It was very large. Yeah, so luckily I was in a space, so I'm in the UK now, but I was living in the United Arab Emirates. So I was able to book surgery quite quickly and get it removed. And I just noticed, so I'm a former personal trainer. I was a physical education teacher at the time. So being active to me is just like breathing. I always need to be moving. So the recovery for me was very difficult because it was during the pandemic that I had the surgery. So we weren't really allowed visitors. We weren't really allowed to go anywhere. So I was actually forced to rest, which was actually good, because if not, I know myself, I would have pushed my body. I would have been, I need to do some exercise, and I would have, scuppered my recovery. So when I was forced to just sort of rest, recover on the sofa, feeling sorry for myself, I was just trying to research, what are fibroids? How do they grow? How can I stop them from coming back? Because for me, the surgery was quite, it was a lengthy one. It was quite, I think it was 8 hours overall. It was quite a lengthy surgery, yes. So the recovery was equally quite difficult. So I got into research mode. How do I stop them from coming back? Because I knew at the time there was a high risk that after surgery, because I had myomectomy, that they can grow back. So I was just like, I can't go through this surgery again. I can't go through this recovery again. So it was then I started to research into it. Like, life, is it nutrition? Is it lifestyle? What causes these things? And the research out there I found was just quite lacking. There didn't seem to be a lot of support really, or information really about, what really causes them to grow. I know sort of hormones, different things have sort of been put about. But yeah, it was from then I thought, when I was sort of fully recovered, I thought, if I was struggling to find support and help out there, others must be in the same position. So that's when I found a health coaching course that I did to qualify, so I could be in a position where I could learn about fibroids, learn everything that I can about them, and be able to help other women in that position, basically. That is my story, from being sort of dismissed, ignored, and then finding out later I had quite a large one, and then just researching to find ways to, manage symptoms, try to prevent them coming back, all of those things.
Exactly, yeah. And I love that there's so many things I can ask from what you've shared. And the first thing I want to ask is that dismissal, that being dismissed, what does that do to a woman that maybe professionals don't realize? And especially for Black women.
Yeah, it just really knocks your confidence, and it just makes you doubt your pain and what you're going through. Because my first dismissal was actually when I was about, I think, 17 or 18. So as mentioned, I'd always kind of suffered from quite painful cycles since beginning my periods. So I think I went to the doctor at 17 or 18 to just discuss it and try to get some help. But it was a male doctor at the time. It was a very quick, I think I was in there for less than 5 minutes, because I'd already been given what's called mefenamic acid to sort of help with that. So he just said, just take 2 more paracetamol with that. You'll be fine. Bye. That was pretty much it. So that stayed with me. That was my first experience of dismissal in this area. So again, to be dismissed later when I knew something was wrong. So it knocked my confidence. It knocked it made me, I didn't even think about advocating for myself or going for a second opinion because I just felt a bit embarrassed for wasting the doctor's time. So it definitely had a knock in confidence, and it just made me feel what you're experiencing is normal, just get on with it, basically.
Yeah. And then I know you also said, you had the surgery around pandemic time. We're on lockdown. We're supposed to be isolating. And of course, for you're recovering, so you didn't want to get something else. So looking back now, and I know you said with your research and everything, you didn't really find support, and that's what led you to this space of helping women. So what support do you wish you had at the time, considering it was the pandemic?
Yeah, just perhaps a medical professional or a health professional that I could speak to about sort of the psychological recovery of that as well. It's such a major surgery. I don't think it was really, in my position, it was described how major a surgery it was. It was just sort of billed as, oh, that's fine, we'll just make 4 incisions, we'll take it out, and then you'll be fine after about a few weeks. And for me, it was much more than that. The psychological factor of it was very simple things that I didn't know would be difficult. So, for instance, walking upstairs, that was very, very difficult to do, and very basic things that we do every day. So like brushing my teeth just when you have to spit out the toothpaste, that was so painful. And what else? Just getting in and out of bed, that was extremely difficult. Like I'd say it took over a minute just to sort of position myself to try and get out of bed. I was very lucky to have friends in the UAE at the time who were like family. They were able to come round and just sort of assist me with different things, but it was just a very tough time dealing with basic life things you don't even think about. And when I say I appreciate sneezing these days, the first time oh my goodness, I had to sneeze, I thought my insides were going to come out. So it's just dealing with the aftermath of surgery. That would have been very nice, knowing what to expect. And just the different lifestyle changes and nutritional changes that could help to reduce the inflammation, because I know inflammation is a large part of of an environment where fibroids can grow. So just advice on diet and how we can sort of lower inflammation and things that will help to sort of reduce the symptoms that come with fibroid as well. So I feel that there was just a whole area missing in terms of post-surgery support for women in terms of reducing symptoms and trying to prevent fibroids from returning.
Yeah. And I guess maybe also in terms of the dismissal, when a woman is being dismissed about her symptoms, then besides the confidence in her own self to advocate for herself, what does that do in her confidence in the health system?
Yeah, it felt like, women's menstrual health is not an issue. It's not really a big deal. It's something all women go through. So kind of just deal with it. If it's not life threatening, and then you're okay, just deal with it. That's kind of the message I sort of took from that. And I just wish, looking back, I'd advocated more for myself. I would have explained more. Look, I know my body. I know something is not right. So I wish I'd had the confidence to do that. I'd thought back then, Emma, go and get a second opinion, a third opinion. I just sort of accepted it. So it did make me rethink how I view health and how it's important to advocate for oneself, especially with women's health, which is an area which I feel is very lacking in terms of support.
Very.
And I just feel it's an area that is extremely lacking, and we have to learn to advocate more for ourselves. We shouldn't have to, but that's the way things are.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And then that leads you nicely into now you're in this space, you've done your extra training, you've learned, the different things that can help with that inflammation that can be the setup or a huge contributor to fibroids. So besides filling the gap and besides just wanting to give women extra support that is lacking, what led you into this space where you're helping women with fibroids?
Yeah, so definitely due to my lived experience. So I've been there. I know what women in that space are going through. So I know that I can offer that emotional support. I will be
Yeah.
there. I will not dismiss. I will listen to their symptoms. I will listen to their story and what they're going through.
Yeah.
Because as mentioned, I'm back in the UK now, and I know gynecology appointments are very difficult to get.
Very.
And yeah, in general, the appointment lengths are 10, 15 minutes. So it's hard to get across what you want to say in that time, because doctors are very rushed these days, and it's understandable. The appointment times are very short, so I'm there to listen without judgment, listening actively, just being that advocate and that support for women who need that assistance.
Yeah.
I just feel I have a background in sort of fitness and health. So I knew when I used to be a personal trainer, I loved that job. It was such a great job, but I always felt I needed and wanted to do more in terms of the lifestyle side, the nutrition side, the emotional side. But in that sort of 1 hour session, there was never enough time to do that. So I knew in terms of training, I needed to offer a service that did look at the other side of sort of exercise, emotional support, lifestyle support, nutrition support. So the training that I did beautifully covered all of those areas, where now I'm able to offer this holistic support, looking at all areas of a woman's life, not just one area, because if one area of health is challenged, and then that can affect other areas of that woman's life as well. So with the training I got, we look at all areas of a woman's life and just help to lead them forward in what they want to achieve for their health and their life.
Exactly, yeah. And I guess now the advantage I'm hearing is that, first of all, the appointment will be longer, because GPs they only have 10 minutes. What can you really do in 10 minutes? And they have to prioritize. Okay, let me examine you, and then maybe I'll just give you a leaflet on lifestyle, and even that emotional support that you're offering, and just a space to be heard. Sometimes just being heard, it counts for so much. So when you're supporting a woman with fibroids, and what's the impact of giving that holistic approach, giving the time? There's and I know you wouldn't speak for the whole day, but there's more time, and that emotional support. What's the impact to her when she's trying to make those lifestyle changes that will then reduce that inflammation, that will then contribute to a better picture when it comes to fibroids?
Yeah, great question. So women, when they come to me for sessions, the whole session is for them. My sessions are 60 minutes. If I like to talk, but obviously the session is for women, so they could be between 60 to 90 minutes. So that whole session is focused on that woman. And in today's day and age, we're not used to being able to have that space to just talk freely, without interruption, without judgment, without, someone interrupting you to give their advice or say something. So that space is just for that woman, just to talk. And we always start the session with just getting grounded in that session. So we start with just some easy breathing, just to get focused and sort of in that space, because today's world, we're all very, very busy. So that space is just dedicated for that woman just to speak, just take their time and not have to explain themselves. And what I'm hearing a lot is that when women go to their GPs, it's often they feel like they're not believed, so they have to sort of speak in a way to try and make the doctor believe what they're saying. So with me, they're just freely able to speak about what challenges they're facing, their symptoms. We talk about everything. And just being given that space to be heard, to be believed, and not have to justify what they're saying is just such a relief for women. It's such a thing we don't experience every day. It's such a nice thing to have. So and just it's about personalized support, basically. So I get to know the women that I'm working with. I get to know their likes, their dislikes, what their current lifestyle looks like, and from that I'm able to provide personalized support for them. My programs are not a set program where I do the same with everyone, because everyone's different. Every woman's journey is different. Yes. So I take a personalized approach for the women I work with, and then we set little tasks, little lifestyle changes that work for their real life, not just okay, after work, you must go to the gym for 2 hours and do this and do that. Whilst that might work for one woman, it's not going to
Yes.
work for all. So it's about, getting to know women, what they're facing, what their goals are, because, it could be fertility challenges, it could be just managing painful symptoms, it could be low energy that comes with sort of low iron, that type of thing. We look at food as well. Food is a big proponent of helping to manage symptoms. We take a whole life approach and just give women space to talk freely and not feel rushed. I think that's another thing, to not feel rushed that they have to say everything that's been going on for them for months, kind of years. So I feel it's just having that safe, supportive space where they're free just to be open and just talk about themselves without judgment for an hour or longer is just what I'm even looking for. It's such a great thing to have, I think. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so it gives them relief. It's a great thing to have. And then what do you see in terms of now when they're approaching the lifestyle changes? Like, what are the results that you see when they have this kind of approach?
Yeah, so I think women come to me with preconceptions, almost like I'll be sort of a personal trainer. Okay, so Monday you have to do this, do that, do that, do that. So it's not like that. So I think they feel surprised that, okay, this is a different approach. This is based on me and my real life, not just a set program that anyone can sort of buy off the internet, that type of thing. So the results that they're getting are very quickly increases in energy. So low energy is a big proponent of fibroids. So energy increases very, very quickly. Less bloating as well. Many women have mentioned, or that I've spoken to, said many women have thought, or many people have thought that they're pregnant, and that's due to the bloating from the fibroids or just the fibroids themselves. So we work on reducing bloating. Again, that's through different lifestyle changes, nutritional adjustments as well. Changes in cramping and, painful symptoms that come through fibroids. Again, quite early on, I've had comments where it's just like, oh my goodness, my period was not, I didn't really have much pain this period, and they're really shocked by that. So a lot of great tangible results quite early on as well, which women are very, very shocked by. And just looking at different areas where women wouldn't think that could affect areas. So, just managing stress, in terms of getting better sleep hygiene, all of that just helps to bring the body to a state of just sort of calm, and it just helps to manage those fibroid symptoms.
Yeah. And I guess also when you're seeing them regularly, you mentioned they'll choose a task or they'll do something that works for them. So what do you feel is the long-term support that you're giving them? What's the impact to the quality of life when it comes to fibroids?
Yeah, so we work on small lifestyle habits that just become the norm. Just like every day we get up and brush our teeth, we work on things that just help to manage symptoms overall. So that could look like just eating a breakfast that works for them. It doesn't, again, it's not the same for everyone. So it could be helping to start to make the breakfast the night before, so it's easier for them in the morning. And again, that just helps with hunger throughout the day. It helps to manage sort of bloating and different symptoms that can come up. So it's just working with that woman, or because I offer sort of group training as well. So working with women just to make realistic lifestyle changes that work for them and their life, to make these things more so habits that will just help with fibroid symptoms for the long term, basically. Yeah.
And what do you feel, how do I say it? Why do you feel the medical system as it is not able to give this kind of support?
I think, again, it's the time factor. There's not enough time to go through the lifestyle and nutritional changes that can help women managing fibroids. I just feel it's a big timing issue. So that when women come to me, they're just shocked at how they have all of this time to just talk freely and learn all of the information that can help just to sort of lower inflammation and just help with the fibroid symptoms that they're navigating. So I do think time is one of the main factors. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess maybe I know in the case of menopause, perimenopause, sometimes many doctors have said actually in their training, they never received that training. So maybe there's a gap somewhere. So sometimes do you feel with fibroids the same could be applicable?
Yeah. So I read a lot on LinkedIn, and it seems like, as you've mentioned, that there was not a great amount of sort of training or information on fibroids in sort of doctors' training. So yeah, it could be due to sort of just lack of knowledge in that area as well.
Yeah.
So I feel because of my lived experience and sort of the research that I've done, I can sort of help to fill that gap where in terms of going to your doctor's appointment, there's not enough time to sort of explain all of the things that can help manage fibroids. But I've been there, I've done my research, and I'm actively trying to prevent mine from coming back and sort of manage my sort of symptoms and lifestyle. So I feel that I can be sort of help in the gap, just to help women advocate for themselves, just provide knowledge, information, and supportive help. Help them navigate their own fibroid journeys.
Yeah, because a lot of times you'll hear doctors really want to spend that time giving lifestyle advice, but because the system is just not set that way, they have to prioritize. And, example, like I was saying before, do the examination, refer you, and maybe they'll give you a leaflet. So they would like to, and yes, they also acknowledge many times that their training is not, and times are changing, research is changing, more things come up, even though it's still limited. But, for many of them, they do realize the training wasn't there, but they would love to. So it's not that they, no, they would love to, but it's just sometimes the way the system is set up. So yeah. And then now when it comes to lifestyle changes, sometimes, people think, no, there's no way people just want something. They feel like the solution has to be some pill. Not that I'm saying I'm a pharmacist, so I'll never say stop taking your medicine. But we feel like it has to be something grand and spectacular. So sometimes when they hear lifestyle changes, they feel like, because maybe lifestyle changes can feel slow, but you've said sometimes you will see the results quicker than you thought. Sometimes lifestyle changes can feel out of your comfort zone, or you can feel like, is it even doing anything? So with your clients, how do you help them to understand, lifestyle can be a process. Sometimes you may see quick results, but it's not about, I want this quickly. How do you help them to manage the expectation? Yeah. When it comes to lifestyle changes.
Yeah, definitely. So we break things down, basically.
Yes.
We try not to overwhelm, because many women might come and think, oh my goodness, I need to change everything overnight, overhaul my whole nutrition, get rid of everything in my fridge, do everything all at once. That's why we start with our breathing. We just get grounded, and we break everything down. We take it one step at a time, because tasks can feel overwhelming. And if you've lived in a certain way for a very long time, changing that is going to feel very, very difficult. So we literally scale it back and just take these little changes, as I mentioned, one day, one step at a time. So I work with women just to get to know them, find out how they operate, find out about their lifestyle, about their nutritional choices. And then we just scale it back and just work in a way that works for them. Break these tasks down so they're manageable, they're not overwhelming. And after a short time, women just start to find that these changes are doable, they're manageable, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Or I love the random text messages I'll get in the evening, like, oh my goodness, Emma, I went to the supermarket and I didn't have this. I got the healthier version instead.
Exactly.
So those are the random texts that I love. So we just make it manageable. We make it doable. We make it realistic. It's not, because I see a lot of things online where it's quick results. Do this and you get quick results. I don't want to work like that, because quick results to me aren't really sustainable. So we work on tasks which are sustainable so that they become part of normal real life.
Yes, and I guess also with quick results, are you really targeting the root of the situation, or you're just putting a band-aid on top of there? Yeah. And now I guess for the woman who's got fibroids and she's also experiencing pain, like how can you, what advice would you give her in terms of the lifestyle changes and just again giving that time and understanding, yeah, it's gonna be breakable, manageable, realistic, but she also, I guess maybe she wants the quick results because she's in pain. So what would you say to her?
Yeah, so we work on sort of tracking pain and looking at things that could be causing additional pain. So I ask clients to keep sort of a journal or just write notes on their phone, whatever's easiest for them, so that they can sort of make a note of when the pain is occurring. Is it around their cycle? It could even be to do with food. It could be a particular food is leading to cramping, bloating, that type of thing. So from there we try and sort of just look at what could be causing that pain at that time by keeping that record, and then we can make the small shifts, the small changes that will just help to manage that pain, because it's understandable if you're in that pain, you just want the quickest the quickest results that are just going to get you out of pain. But it's just noticing when the pain arrives, what could be causing it, and just getting to know your body, basically getting to know the body and just working in ways that are going to help.
Yeah. And I guess maybe for anyone who's watching and they don't really understand how the quality of life of a woman with fibroids looks like. And I remember in our own discussion, you were saying, even painkillers, hot water bottles. So maybe give a picture of, and we said everyone is going to be different. If we were to give just an idea of how the quality of life of a woman with fibroids looks like, what would that look like in general?
Yeah, on really bad days, it could be just being doubled over on the bed with a hot water bottle. It could be extremely heavy bleeding. It could be flooding, which is going through many sort of pads within an hour. Just excruciating pain. It could be pain down the back of the leg, lower back pain, pelvic pressure. It could be fatigue, so low energy. There's just so much that women have to deal with when it comes to fibroid symptoms. And then, they often have to show up for work, show up for the family, show up for friends whilst dealing with this debilitating pain. So yeah, it could show. Some women actually don't have symptoms when it comes to fibroids. They don't really know. But yeah, for others, it can come in many different ways.
Yeah, exactly. And then now what's the impact when you're in pain, you're heavily bleeding, you're low in energy, because now when you're bleeding, your iron levels are also going to be interfered with. So what's the impact to like her work? Because you're in the workspaces. What do the women say, or what do you see?
Yeah, just having to sort of try to push through at work whilst dealing with all of that stuff. Being in meetings and then worrying, oh my goodness, am I bleeding heavily right now? I might have to nip to the bathroom very quickly whilst going for meetings, whilst in meetings, just dealing with the pain. If you're at home, you're able to sort of just curl up in bed and just but at work, you're not able to do that. So just having to fight through the pain. It could prevent women from going for sort of higher positions, because they have obviously come with a lot of responsibility, because they know that the monthly pain will come, and how they're going to manage that if they're in sort of big corporate or board meetings, that type of thing. So yeah, it can affect women a lot at work. The low energy, they have sort of targets to get through, they have work to get through, but they're suffering with fatigue. So mustering up the energy to get through their work tasks is very difficult as well when dealing with that. So yeah, it comes with a myriad of problems, especially for women in the workplace.
Yeah. And then I guess maybe we haven't painted a picture of these lifestyle changes. I know you said nutrition and sleep, and the aim is that inflammation. So maybe paint a picture of when we say lifestyle changes, what are we talking about for fibroids?
Yeah. So Basically, movement. I like to use the word movement instead of exercise.
Yes.
Exercise does not resonate with a lot of women. I know it could take them back to their PE days at school
Yeah.
where it was more like army training.
Yeah.
So I talk about movement, just getting the circulation going, getting some movement into the body. Now, it doesn't have to be, again, running a marathon, going to the gym, just trying to incorporate movement into the day as much as possible. So it could be, if you're in an office building, getting the stairs instead of the lift to your floor. It could be parking a little bit further away from where you need to go, so you have to walk a bit more. It could be, again, your family might think you're crazy when the kettle is boiling, just throw a few squats in there, something like that. But it's just trying to incorporate more sort of easier movement into the day just to help with sort of managing fibroid symptoms. What else? Just helping to manage weight as well. With all of the changing hormones, weight can unfortunately sort of creep up. So it's just, again, looking at ways to help manage weight.
Yeah.
What else do we look at? Sleep hygiene as well.
Yes.
Just getting a good sort of bedtime routine going, trying to avoid sort of, the doom scrolling at night, sort of staying up. Just looking at ways that we can have a nice calming routine before bed. So maybe trying to set up an hour before bed, a nice calming tea, like reading a book before bed, and just something that just helps to sort of just relax the nervous system and just get prepared for bed so you have a nice restful sleep. There's many areas that we look at that are away from sort of nutrition. There's definitely ways that we can help to just manage symptoms and just help to put the body in a more sort of relaxed sort of state.
Yeah. And I guess on that relaxed state, I guess the stress, what is your view on stress and fibroids?
Yeah, so stress, that is a big factor in terms of painful fibroid symptoms. So, we work to just look at ways that we can help to manage stress. So, we look at journaling, writing down sort of stress triggers. We look at what's going on in a woman's life and sort of look at where the stress could be coming in. Is it work life? Is it home life? It could be even women who do exercise, but they go hard.
Yes.
They do hard hit training, that kind of thing. And sometimes that could be counterintuitive. It could be putting more stress on the body. So we do look at all areas of life and see where stress could be coming from. And then we work on steps to just reduce the stress levels, because that could definitely be a big factor in terms of fibroid symptoms.
Yeah. And I guess maybe something that's come up once when I was working with a client, she'll say, I'm not stressed. And I know the idea of the Black woman, you're a strong woman, you're helping everyone. So what's a sign to say a woman is stressed? Because sometimes maybe we don't even know we're stressed because we've just been pushing through. This is your life. You're not even, So what are signs to say you're stressed?
Yeah, from what I've seen, as you mentioned, we do a lot. We carry a lot of others. We power through. We push forward. It could be just where women are very restless. Like, they've got a lot on their mind, so they're not able to sort of concentrate because they're thinking, okay, after this call, I've got to go and do that. I've got to look after this person. I've got to do this. So it could come across as just not being able to sort of focus and concentrate because they've got a lot on their mind. Again, it could be sort of signs of burnout coming along, it can come on quite silently and then suddenly, just not able to sort of cope with the demands of everything anymore. So stress is definitely a big sort of area that we look at when it comes to coaching and just trying to manage and sort of reduce those levels and just see what maybe not be working in a woman's life and just sort of trying to adapt to bring those stress levels down.
Yeah. Now you've mentioned very doable, things, working on our sleep and breaking it down. I think that's the big part so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, but still maybe someone may feel skeptical about lifestyle changes. So what would you encourage them just in terms of giving it a chance?
Yeah, and I have had that before. It's just like, well, what's lifestyle got to do with fibroids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just being open. It's just being open and to the thought of it, giving it a chance,
Yeah.
and just taking a look at what's going on in life and just seeing if there's any areas that could be tweaked slightly just to try and improve in that area, because you'll often see that once one area is improved, it can lead to
Yes.
improvement in other areas of life and health as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely there'll be skepticism there, but it's just being open to sort of new experiences, because a lot of women, they've tried many things in the past, many diets, many new protocols, gym routines, that type of thing, but they feel that they're in a similar position or not much has changed.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just sort of encouraging being open to trying new experiences, things that they've not tried before, even though, because the thing is, like, saying lifestyle changes, it sounds kind of simple. Oh, just do change this, change that, which in a way, I'm not saying it is simple, but the things that we go through they're doable, they're realistic, and the smaller things can make sort of the biggest differences moving forward. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd definitely say being open to trying new ways of looking at your health.
Yes, yeah. And I guess also for a woman who's been in pain for a long time, I guess maybe they're used to it. And then again, so how do we change that mindset of nothing will change for me, especially with the pain?
Yeah, so I think women have been conditioned just to deal with the pain. It's what women go through monthly. It is what it is, sort of deal with it. So I feel there might be the mindset of, yeah, this is just something I have to deal with. I just have to get on with it. Like, I've got my hot water bottle, I've got my painkillers, that is it. But it's just allowing women to know that there is a different way to go about this. They don't have to just deal with the pain. There are things that they can do to help their situation, and they'll feel, because fibroids don't just affect you physically, they affect you emotionally as well. It can be a drain. Like, you might not want to do things that excite you. You might just want to sort of stay in and just have to cope with the pain. So it can disrupt other areas of life as well. So I just say to women that there is another way, and they don't have to continually suffer. There is a way.
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess on there is a way.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier, every woman's experience with fibroids will be different. So sometimes, and oh Lord, social media will tell you all sorts of things, and you're looking for, oh, I want her results. So what encouragement would you give to a woman who's trying to find her own way to a better quality of life in terms of not looking at what other people's results are? How can she determine the results that she wants for herself so she can navigate her own path?
And yeah, I see many things online where there's sort of a magic pill or magic potion where take these and your fibroids will shrink overnight. I really dislike seeing those type of things.
Yeah.
So it's just about doing your research,
Yes.
knowing what is possible. And I know for women in the UK, NHS gynecology appointments are long. Like, some women are waiting months and even over a year just to be seen.
Yes.
So what I do is just offer that help in the meantime to help manage symptoms, because many are booked in for surgery, but it's taking months to sort of get there. So what I do is help manage symptoms, give education, information in the meantime, just to help cope whilst they're waiting for their surgery.
Yeah. And I guess on that note, like, maybe for a woman with fibroids, when she's looking to work with people like us, maybe give them a picture of from start to finish. What would that look like? You've already mentioned, it's a holistic, you're looking at everything, the nutrition, the stress, the sleep, and just workable tasks. But when they come from the beginning to the end, what does it look like in general? Because each person, like you said, will be different. So you target, it's personalized. So you work with the individual in a different way. But just in general, from start to finish, what does it look like?
Yeah, thank you. So it starts with, we just have a nice chat to begin with. This is sort of before the session start. So I just get to know the challenges that the woman is facing, and how health coaching might help them, basically. So I just look at where they're at currently, what symptoms they're facing, where they want to be, and then we'll sort of map out how they can get to where they want to be in terms of their health. So yeah, we have weekly sessions, so they're online or in person. So we I just get to get a whole picture of that person's health. We go through mini tasks during the sessions. We set mini goals during the sessions as well. So it could be, say, if we break those tasks down basically. So if a client wants to just improve the way they eat, so we will take a look at what they're eating first and look at the areas that they want to improve on. And then from there, we will set little tasks to help with that goal. So it's not going to be, okay, change everything overnight, get rid of the fridge, get all of the contents of the fridge out. It could be one small aspect of that. So it could be, okay, I want to increase my protein during the week. So we'll look, okay, how can you do that? What are you eating at the moment? What sort of proteins do you like? Do you like chicken? Do you like turkey? That type of thing. And then we'll create a little goal based on that. So do you want to do an online food shop? Do you want to go into the shop? When can you do that? You know, could anything get in the way of you doing this food shop? You know, do you need some recipes? Have you got any good ideas for recipes that could help to improve your protein intake? So we do everything in a personalized way that's going to fit their lifestyle, because there's no point in me saying, okay, so I want you on Saturday at 9 a.m. to go to Asda and go and buy all this turkey and cook. It's not going to work for that person because everyone is different. So we work with them to suit those little goals. So over time, they will become habits, and this will help with the overall health goals that they want for themselves.
Yeah. And what's the difference with the accountability they would get from you versus the accountability they can get from their friend or family member who's supporting them?
Yeah, accountability is a huge thing with health coaching, because that is why many people kind of struggle when it comes to changes that they want to make to improve their health, because they have the motivation, sometimes they have the vision of what they want, but sometimes, you know, if it's, you know, bad weather, if it's raining outside, they can easily talk themselves out of, oh, well, you know, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, or I'll do the shopping tomorrow. But when they have someone there who is holding them accountable to their actions, they're more likely to do that, because they don't want to let themselves down. They don't want to let that person down as well. So accountability is a big part of health coaching, which helps women to move forward. Definitely. It's a very powerful thing, accountability.
Very, very powerful. And so like how would I say, what would be the difference of the accountability they're getting from their friend versus you?
Yeah, so I feel obviously our friends have the best intentions for us. But sometimes someone who wants to change their lifestyle, they need a more friendly kick up the backside, let's call it that. A friend would be, okay, that's fine, you know, you tried, maybe, you know, do it again tomorrow, something like that. But with someone like a health coach, I feel that they could they could hold their hand more firmly in terms of helping them to move forward. We'll look at what happened, why what you wanted to do didn't happen, and then we can sort of alter the goal, or look at the barriers that got in the way, and to sort of change how you approach that small goal for yourself. So it's basically confronting what happened, but in a nice, friendly way, and helping them to move forward by adjusting the goal and doing something that works for them. Because obviously our friends have our best intentions, but they'll let us off because they're our friends. But with a coach, it is a firm and a friendly kick up the backside, basically.
Exactly. and even like what you were saying earlier, maybe someone is skeptic. So you see, when there's a mindset issue, then you can dig and you can find ways to help them be open to just try something new. And then that's where now, okay, let me try. And then they say, okay, it's actually worked. So, yeah. And then now you also mentioned, you know, when you make small changes. So maybe what's one change that a woman with fibroids can do in just starting to take back control? Even if they've tried different things before, what do you feel they can just start with?
So yeah, one thing that I look at with my women in the first few sessions is nutrition, food, diet, and we just look at ways that we can lower inflammation in the body, because inflammation is one thing that definitely affects fibroids a lot. So we just look at eating in ways that can just help to bring that inflammation down. So we'll take a look at, I normally send a 3-day food diary. So just we can literally see what women are eating, and then we can just make small adjustments to just help to lower that inflammation, basically. So yeah, I'd say nutrition, food is one of the main areas that we look at, and I'd say to sort of look at first when it comes to managing fibroid symptoms, because it could be women feel that they're eating healthily. It could be, but there could be things that are actually hindering their progress and what they think they're doing. So yeah, I'd say nutrition is definitely an area that is worth looking at first.
So basically look at the food you're eating and just do maybe some research. See, is it inflammation boosting or inflammation reducing?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. And then again, the kind of support we offer as coaches, maybe sometimes people are skeptical, or maybe they've tried so many things and they're just discouraged. So what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I just say just come and have an initial chat to see what it's about, because health coaching is relatively new in the UK. It's growing very fast. It's very much needed. But I'd say most coaches offer a free sort of initial chat just to understand what health coaching is and how it can help move forward with health. So I'd just say, yeah, just come and have a free chat just to find out what it's about. Again, if you've tried many things in the past and you've felt that maybe some things have worked in the short term, but as we discussed earlier, accountability is such a powerful thing that health coaches provide that just helps with long-term sort of results, not quick results. So I'd say, yeah, come and have a chat to see if it's something that could work for you.
Yeah. And I guess speaking of results, now when the woman is excited, she's had you, Emma, she's ready to go. Now, what kinds of results or signs of progress should she be paying attention to in a realistic way? But sometimes I want to lose 20 kilograms by the end of the week. No. So what results should she be looking for in a realistic way? Or that shows, okay, yes, I'm making progress.
Yeah, so increases in energy. A lot of women with fibroids suffer with fatigue, low energy, could be due to anemia. So an increase in energy is definitely one of the results to look forward to. Reduced bloating as well, just in terms of the little adjustments we make to nutrition and diet. So bloating is heavily reduced, because I know a lot of women with fibroids, they wear baggy clothes just to, hide the bloat, hide the discomfort that they see and feel in their body. I'd say reduced cramping as well. Cramping is a very difficult symptom to deal with when it comes to fibroids, when you're sort of out and about, that type of thing. So I'd say definitely reduce cramping as well. Some women may notice sort of reduced blood clots as well. That's one of the results I found. So again, it's a very difficult symptom that women have to deal with. And just one of my wins when clients just get a good grip and understanding of the foods that will help them in terms of managing their fibroid symptoms. I'm just like, yes. It just makes me feel so good to know that they're able to learn and just sort of move forward in terms of improving things for themselves. So yeah, those are definitely some of the results and improvements that women can feel moving forward.
And I guess for the woman who's been dismissed and unheard, she feels unheard, what's one thing you want her to know today?
That yes, your voice is valid. Your pain, your symptoms are real. They're not in your head. What you're feeling is valid. And I want you to know that you're not alone. There are so many women suffering and dealing with fibroids quietly. And, they go on to just continue to deal with the horrible pain because they have been dismissed. So I just want you to know that your pain is valid and you do deserve to
Yes.
be heard, to be listened to have your symptoms and your pain taken seriously.
Yes.
And yeah, it's tough what you're going through, but there is help out there for you.
There is help out there, yeah. And I guess with the results you've seen in your practice, I know you've said some women see that energy go up. Maybe what's one success story you can leave us with just to further encourage women dealing with fibroids, that lifestyle, it makes a difference.
It does, yes. So one of the best little texts I got, this was just after I think a month on the program. A woman I work with sent a text to say that this is her first period that she'd ever had where she didn't have any pain, and I was just like,
Imagine.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Because just if you think for all of the periods that women go through in our lifetime, after a month of working together in terms of looking at these lifestyle changes I mentioned, the dietary changes, just looking at her sleep, her stress levels, all of this stuff. This helped her to have her first painless period of ever. And for me, that was just, it just validated the work that I'm doing, and knowing that I went into the right profession just to help
Yeah.
women dealing with navigating the complexities of fibroids.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, it's so needed. There's so many of us, including myself,
Yeah.
with fibroids. And so women should really feel, you're not alone.
Yeah.
There's so many of us who are experiencing these fibroids. And the most important thing is there's help there. So just reach out and you can find your way forward with support.
Yeah.
What do you feel women can do to continue these conversations? Because sometimes maybe there's the thing of, let me just go through this by myself, or I don't want to air my dirty laundry, or we don't speak about things. So what can we do individually to encourage each other to speak and share?
Yeah, as you just said, I just speak about it,
Yeah.
Speak about it. There are lots of Facebook groups out there, support groups where women are talking about it to each other. Yeah, I feel just giving it the space and air it deserves. Like, women shouldn't have to deal with this because it's a lot. It's not just physical, it's emotional as well. It's a lot to have on yourself, because it can affect so many different areas. Fertility, it can affect how you feel at work, in life, that type of thing. So I feel just being more open and being okay to speak about it.
Yeah. And now what's next for you, Emma? What are you up to? Where can people find you?
Yes, I'm starting online group coaching in February, where I'm going to be helping. I like to keep the groups nice and small, so between 6 to 8 women who are navigating fibroids, want to have help with their symptoms, specifically those who are waiting for NHS care just to manage symptoms in the meantime. So it's a lovely 6-week group coaching program where we just, because one-to-one, some might find it a bit daunting. So just working with other women who are navigating the same challenges that you're going through. It's a lovely supportive group where there's education, there's action, there's just that community feel. So you don't feel like you're going through the journey alone, basically. So I'm going to be starting that in February this year. So I'm very excited to get that going. I'm going to be doing more workplace talks. I've just recently done one where I received very good feedback, so I'm looking to do more talks. I'm also doing Perisize, my exercise classes specifically aimed at women navigating perimenopause and menopause, because women in this phase of life, we need to exercise in a slightly different way. And what used to work for us in our 20s, 30s will not work anymore. So it's just creating a lovely space for women, especially women who don't like gyms, who hate gyms. So again, it's creating that community space and exercising together for women navigating that phase of life. So lots going on for me at the moment, but my main aim is just to help women who are navigating fibroid and who are entering that perimenopause phase as well, because that's another area which is not so much discussed. It's getting more airtime now, but yes, women who are navigating fibroids are often going through perimenopause as well. So helping women in those areas.
Amazing. And are you on social media if they wanted to follow you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram at Fibroid Wellness, on LinkedIn as well. You find me under Fibroid Wellness, and also my website, all very boring, fibroidwellness.com.
That's not boring. It's just letting them know this is what you're helping with. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you so much, Emma. I know you'll get those inquiries, and I'm so glad you've come to share. And the message here is fibroids are so common. So many of us are going through it. There is help. You don't have to live the way you've lived. There are different things that can be done in a realistic, doable way. Sometimes it means just opening your mind a little bit to just try something new. I know so many of you have tried so many things and you've been discouraged and you've been dismissed. And we're telling you today there's support where you can be listened to, you can be heard. There's not that tight timeline to just, come quick and feel pressured, and then you feel like I didn't even say what I wanted to say. So there are spaces available for you. Reach out to Emma, reach out to myself, and just have a chat and see, okay, this is what I'm going through. What can you do? And then we'll realistically let you know what we can do for you. And definitely in your own circles, talk about fibroids, talk about your experiences. And then you'll find, and I love why memes are viral, because we're all living the same life. So when you start to share, you'll see, oh, so it's not only me who has to change my pads like 3 times in an hour. It's not only me who's feeling low in energy. Oh, really? You can just adjust your sleep hygiene and then things can change. Like Emma said, there's a client after 1 month in the program, just making those lifestyle changes. For the first time, a period with no pain. There are so many things that are possible with lifestyle changes. So just be open-minded and just know you're not alone. There are people willing to listen and hear you. So look out for Emma's details. I'll put them in the description below. Follow her and keep in touch. She's got her February group coaching coming up. So if that fits you, join. Please don't sit in 2026 in the same pain and poor quality life. You deserve better, like Emma said. So as always, thank you for watching. Subscribe so you can get notified when the next episode is out. And I look forward to the next episode and seeing you then. Take care.